Hey, what's up, YouTube? We are back. It's been a while, but we are back on HG2. They just released that October mid-month sort of patch. Is a doozy. Tons of changes across the board on balance, which we're going to get into. A bunch of crash fixes, some bug fixes in general, and also some hidden ones that we're going to be going into throughout this video. So consider dropping a like on the video and subscribing now. Also, for any of you who have missed my previous video that I put out a little while ago, I am still streaming on YouTube. It's just under another channel. I'm kind of separated to one for video, one for streaming. It is Maplewood_TV, just like my Twitch channel. Cool. Let's get into the video. All right. So the patch mostly revolving around primaries, secondaries, throwables, and stratagems becoming more powerful, nerfing a few enemies, bringing them down, less ragdoll. We'll get into the specifics in a little bit, but getting into it, we have our primary weapons. I'm not going to go and touch over every single one, but for the most part, you're going to notice our light pen assault rifles have had their durable damage increased, so they're better at breaking those body parts and stuff like that. Like brood commanders' heads are popping off with a bunch of the light pen changes. Very noticeable. It is great. I mean, you might look at it and be like 89 damage. That's like nothing, but that amount of an increase in your durable damage, you know, we're looking at like 50% in some cases. Very noticeable in a lot of situations. Slugger getting a solid damage increase, allowing you to one tap those overseers from a little bit farther away. Very consistent at two tapping like bile spewers. You're still one tapping your warriors and stuff like that, but it is a nice one. Also getting a really nice durable increase. Plasma Punisher, a very well-deserved buff as well. They remove the projectile damage on direct impact. Don't panic though. What that means is they've essentially moved that to the AoE. Whereas before you had to hit the target to do the substantial amount of damage. Now you can kind of just aim next to them and do the vast majority of damage. So increasing that explosion damage from 150 to 225, it feels really good, especially versus bugs. That's where I was primarily running it, but you know, you should be one tapping Voteless, no problem. It should be a 2 to 3 tap on overseers, depending on what type you're using. It should be 2, but I think it most likely should be 3 on even elevated overseers. Just like really nice change to the Plasma Punisher. It's needed it for so long, so I'm happy it's gotten it. It's not like game changing. It's not going to be like competing with the crossbow all of a sudden, but it's at least like moving up there. In the next couple of days, we will be going through like a new tier list and talking about a lot of these changes in more depth and talking about how they've moved on the tier list. But for now, good changes. Pacifier got its stun value increased. You're going to see the Pummeler also got its stun value increased. They are way more reliable at stunning enemies, which is great. The Liberator Concussive actually got some more durable damage and more damage in general. Really liked using it today. It felt good. We're getting into a much better place with a lot of ARs across the board. And if you are a Liberator Concussive enjoyer, you are in good. Tenderizer only got the durable damage, but I think that's mostly because they didn't want it to compete too much with like the DMRs, the light pen DMR, especially the Diligence. SMGs, they actually, what they did was they increased the damage on SMGs by a significant amount, but they added more drag. So maybe past like 40, 50 meters, the damage will fall off a lot faster than it did before. I personally think this is a fantastic trade-off. For a long time, I've been suggesting this exact situation because I played Space Marines 2 last year and they gave the bolter carbine, like it's an SMG, this 50% damage increase within 10 meters, but it drops off really fast afterwards. And it made the weapon feel very unique, but also made it feel very powerful, but within that limited band. And it didn't feel like it like went crazy at all distances. And it's a great way to distinguish SMGs from assault rifles. Great change. The Defender feels really good at 100 damage. Also getting a very sizable durable damage increase. Literally doubling its durable makes a big difference. It's awesome. The Knights got a 70 to 90, and it also got a massive durable damage increase along with the drag. All of the SMG or like pistol variant weapons got this drag increase. So you're going to be not using them at like 50 plus meters as much, but I think the trade-off for more damage, well worth it. The Reprimand got a little more damage. Cool. Pummeler got the more damage, durable damage, which is awesome, which we talked about. And then already the stun. Sickle got some more damage, keeping it a little bit closer from being power crept. I still think a lot of people are going to prefer the other light pen assault rifles rifles, especially now that the durable damage is way farther apart. Like the average light pen assault rifle is around 18 to 22 durable damage, whereas you're only sitting 6 with the sickle. So I think a lot of people are going to continue to move away from the once king of ARs, and you're going to see a lot of people using the newer ones, which is fair. I still think the sickle needs a little bit more love, but good. We have the Halo assault rifle getting a little more damage, same durable, but that's because it's a medium pen. It already had decent stats on it, but I do think the extra damage is welcome. Unfortunately, this one was a bit of a head scratcher. This is the Halo SMG. Not a huge fan of this change, and it might be like, why? It's getting better. It is better, but then you have the Knight and you have the STA-11 literally getting better buffs. Whereas if you look at it in game, the Halo SMG is like kind of just like, it's an alternative version to the STA-11 essentially, right? But now it does less damage, it has less durable damage, and it has less fire rate, but the same capacity, right? Like, it just seems very weird to me. I don't get why it's lower. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense, especially with the Knight getting the same buffs, and it gets attachments, which automatically makes it way better than the other two SMGs of that class of fast firing. I don't know. Odd one. Not sure about the Halo SMG. Still need some love. You're going to hear in a second. I'm also not a fan of the SOCOM Halo one. I don't know. It just seems odd that they're not giving it more love. I understand that they're like worried about maybe pay to win or something along those lines because it's a more expensive war bond and only some people are going to get it. I don't know. It deserves more love. Accelerator rifle, though. Moving on, we have the 8 to 12 magazines. It does make a good difference in outfields. That's a 50% increase, which is awesome. And just better ergonomics. I think this will be more useful than just on the bot faction. Previous to this, I was pretty much only saying, use it on the bot faction. Don't use it anywhere else. I think it'll be more useful in other factions. It still has the like overkill of the 3-round burst, but it is moving in a better direction. A lot of the melee weapons got their buffs, mostly the ones that are not stun related, and increasing their durable damage as well. Cool. I still think until we get melee weapon slots, like a fourth slot, primary weapon, secondary weapon, throwable melee weapon, I don't think melee weapons are going to be that wonderful to use, but it is what it is. The light pen secondaries got some love, not too much, but it's enough to keep them relevant. The Redeemer, one of the famous weapons that hasn't been touched since basically the game came out, got some love, which is pretty cool. The Verdict got a little bit of a buff. SOCOM, which we were talking about earlier, still don't think it's enough, but at least it's going in the right direction. I'm happy to see that. And then the Warrant now will feel more like a laser, essentially. The drag was decreased and the gravity multiplier, which is basically how much it will drop, has been decreased as well. So yeah, it'll feel like more of a laser. Cool. All right. One of the best upgrades of this patch is the Dynamite. The Dynamite went up in damage. We are now seeing it go up to 1,000 damage. It's now heavy pen 4, and its demolition is increased to 30-40. For those who are not in the know, this is enough to now kill a Bile Titan hole. You're not going to be killing jammers, but you can kill a Bile Titan hole. Just throw it right inside. You can kill bug holes from outside. You don't have to hit them. If it bounces out slightly, it'll still kill it. You can kill fabricators from the outside as well, which is pretty damn cool. Absolutely love it. You no longer get 4 of them, but I think that's an absolutely fine trade-off. Dynamite, feeling good. Very good. Pineapple, tons of changes here. I'm gonna kind of, just kind of move over it. I'm just gonna say, I think they did so much work into it, but I still feel like the pineapple is kind of meh. I don't like it still. I tried my best to like it. You will get the occasional oh my god, I killed a charger in one throw because it perfectly landed below it and all the munitions hit its stomach and then it blew up and then it actually one-shot it. But it's cool. You still only get 3 and it's a less reliable one-shot than the Thermite. And it doesn't have the utility and AoE potential of the Dynamite. Because you might be saying, well, it explodes and it goes into a wide radius, right? It must be good for AoE. It's sparsely populating that area of effect. It's not as uniform of a circle as the Dynamite. So the Dynamite ends up feeling much better for an AoE potential grenade, whereas the Pineapple, just not really. I think it's better. No doubt it is better, but I want it to feel more uniform, more reliable. The only situation I can see it really popping off is you have 50 enemies right in front of you and you manage to throw it right in the middle and it basically can't miss hitting enemies around it. Because when you throw it at a bunch of enemies in front of you walking towards you, it'll get a bunch of them, but I would much rather it be more reliable at killing a group of them. And I just don't get that with the Pineapple at the moment. And the fact that you only get 3 doesn't help it. If it had 5 and it did this potential of damage, I'd be okay, now we're cooking. 4 even, but 3, not enough. All right, some good changes on the secret grenade. They now more likely prioritize flying enemies when you throw them. This was actually a change that the developer mentioned that they actually saw while coming by a live stream. They mentioned that we were talking about secret grenades and how to change them, and someone brought up, hey, maybe if it prioritizes flying enemies, because I think we were talking about like AA, turrets and stuff like that. Really cool. Glad they added it. I think that's awesome. And the extra damage to 500 allows it to actually one-tap elevated overseers, which it couldn't do before. Very cool. It still will target prioritize a marked target. So if you ping a target, then throw the grenade, it will ignore the flying target. So don't worry. Frag grenades went from 5 to 6. That's sick. I still want them to have higher demolition force. It still can't destroy an illuminant Tesla tower unless they maybe forgot to do that. I didn't actually test it just yet. We've been trying to get through the patch as fast as possible, but there's so many things changed. It'll take me a couple more days to get through it all. Smoke grenades went up 1. I still feel like I want the plume of smoke to be larger, but +1 grenade, cool. Throwing knives, we did a full game of using these. It is noticeable. I was able to one-shot nursing spewers in the head. It is still one-tapping warriors and stuff like that. It cannot one-tap Alpha Brute Commander. It might be able to one-tap a normal Brute Commander in the head. Let me know in the comments. It's cool change, but there's still kind of a meme, and I think they always will kind of be a meme. It's kind of hard to make a throwing knife, feel somewhat grounded and good at the same time, because at the end of the day, it's just a throwing knife. It will have to do bonkers levels of damage, and it will be kind of like unbelievable at some point. So I think it's as good as it really is gonna get at this point. I do hope it's like easier to throw in the future, maybe, at least getting some more distance on it, or like being able to throw it faster, because it doesn't always go exactly where your crosshair is, which is a bit awkward because your crosshair is in the middle of your screen and your player character is off to one side. It's a little bit misaligned, if that makes sense. Anyways, Plasma Scorcher, projectiles no longer get slowed down while going through bushes. Cool. If you ever notice that on the big tree planets, shoot into the sky and all of a sudden you notice your round going way slower all of a sudden. Very weird, but they fixed that. Epoch, another big winner. They basically made it way easier to charge and use. You will now see a VFX like plume at the front, like a big blue ball, and you will hear the alarm. As soon as you hear the alarm or see the plume at the front after it disappears, like it basically when you start charging it, you'll see a bunch of effects, then it'll disappear, and then it will come back. And when you first see it come back, let go. It's an optimal shot. You have way more time to do that before it explodes, and just in general, it is way better timed with the visual and the auditory. So I think it's like much easier. I honestly think that the Epoch is in a really good spot now, especially since it can now destroy bug holes. Awesome. Or fabricators, in the vents and stuff like that. Also, the standard explosion, a standard shot, does enough damage to one-shot overseers now, especially the elevated overseers. Great change. 2 standard shots blow up a behemoth charger's butt. So if you don't have time to do a full charge on a charger's butt, 2 quick shots, which you can do faster than 1 charge shot. Very fast way to kill a behemoth as he runs by after you dodge him. Very good. Stalwart got a little bit of a buff, similar to the Liberated Carbine, because they use the same round. Makes sense. Flamethrower, more ammo, essentially. More ammo in the magazine and just in reserve. Cool. Anti-material rifle and autocannon. I didn't see this one coming, but they can now one-tap Hulks. You heard that right. One-tapping Hulks. It's insane. I didn't think the autocannon needed that much love, and I didn't think the anti-material rifle needed that much love, but they did it. It is extremely powerful. Even killing Bile Titans with the anti-material rifle, you can now do it in 7 to 8 shots. So that's 1 magazine plus 1 to 2 shots, depending if you have a round loaded in the chamber, because if you have one in the chamber, it's 7. If you don't, it's a fresh magazine, it's 6. Very good changes to the anti-material rifle, but at the same time, you're kind of feeling bad for Bile Titans. They are getting dropped hard now, even by the anti-material rifle, which is crazy. Autocannon also less shots to take down. It previously was about 10 to 12 shots to kill a Bile Titan in the head. It's now closer to 8, which is insane. Very good. And one-tapping Hulks, like I said before, crazy. De-escalator now got its damage increased. At first, my initial reaction of it was, it doesn't feel that much better, until I started using it more. I played it for a couple games in a row. Honestly, very happy with it. It can 6-shot a Bile Titan in the head, not super reliably because of the nature of like how it does its arcs. It's not super reliable to do the 6 shots. Sometimes it took 7 to 8, but honestly, very prominent at killing Bile Titans. Not as OP as it was when it first came out, like when like 5 shots, but we're getting to a much closer spot. It feels pretty damn good. And the status effect of it is applying quite reliably now, and the damage feels quite nice. I was using on bugs, felt good. I can't really comment on the other factions just yet, but I imagine it's probably along the same lines. Solar Silo now is kind of invisible to enemies. They won't go out of their way to attack it. It has more health and in general, more demolition strength from enemies to destroy it. Basically means that you can throw it out and just hold on to the receiver and run away from it. You don't have to babysit it as much anymore. Fantastic change. Love it. Over to Rail Cannon Strike, a change that we've been hoping for since forever. They dropped it by 30 seconds. Great change, gotta say. Happy about it. We'll see if 30 seconds is enough, maybe a minute, but I think it's a great change. I think you'll see people using it a lot more. Patriot Exosuit got its missile armor penetration at worse angles buffed. So basically, if you had more of like a glancing blow, it would drop down to pen 4 rather than pen 5. So it should be more reliably doing more damage with the missiles. I still feel as if they should basically just make the missile an EAT. I think they're just beating around the bush. They should just do that. The Emancipator mech is too good comparison to the Patriot Exosuit. Just do it. I just do it. I am happy to see the rotary gun, the machine gun get some bonus ammo, 35% more ammo. Cool, sick. But still, the missiles feel kind of lackluster. You just don't have enough of them. And if they were like EATs, it would feel a lot better. A lot better. Next, we have the enemies. Okay, so they actually adjusted flesh mobs. They brought down the max health and they made shooting the eyes more of like a weak spot. They didn't make the leg like we were talking about earlier a weak spot, but they at least made the eyes more of a weak spot. And I did deal with some with a light pen weapon, and I definitely was killing them significantly faster with a light pen weapon, which was very cool. Yeah, so in general, they did make a little bit of changes to make sure they're not like just falling over to other things, but you know, it is noticeable and flesh mobs are dying a lot faster just to regularly attained like light pen primary weapons. You don't need explosive damage. You don't need fire damage as much anymore to really make them fall over. Elevated Overseers saw some massive changes. They are significantly easier to kill. Basically, all this means is they die way faster. Their helmets are no longer medium pen, they're light pen. So 4 bullets from a regular carbine or a normal Liberator, the 90 damage now new one, is enough to kill it. That's insane. You could just go for the chest and it's like 5 to 6 shots, which is crazy. In general, Elevated Overseers are just falling over. They are absolutely falling over. Leviathans have also changed. In my first mission, we went to go check them out. They no longer have the annoying bunker turrets. It's now replaced with 4 laser beams. It's basically the same laser beam of the Harvester. And they just trace you around. They don't aim directly at you for the most part. And you can definitely dodge them. Also, the second part is they only show up on mega cities. They will not be showing up on normal maps anymore, which is so good. It means you have so much more opportunity to dodge them and, you know, avoid them and get around them. Feels so much better. Happy with these changes. This is what Leviathans needed from the start, and I'm so glad we finally got there. Really happy. Rupture Strain got some changes. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to test them yet because Rupture hasn't been actually like shown in game yet. They're not active, but as soon as they do, we will be testing it out on stream. So come on by Maplewood_TV on YouTube or Twitch, plugging it one more time. But yeah, lots of changes there. Basically just making them slower. They're no longer medium pen on everywhere on their front. Now their arms are no longer medium pen, which is cool. They're slower. They come out of the ground more often. They're not going to be heat-seeking missiles when they come out. You can actually dodge it. Fantastic changes. Happy about it. Ball Spewers, their mouth is now an easier weak spot. It actually always was a weak spot. I don't know if you guys knew this. It's a no armor weak spot, but it's just really hard to hit. They made it easier. That's cool. Brood Commanders are slightly harder to set on fire. I didn't notice it. I brought the Coyote in because I was like, oh my God, did they nerf the Coyote and is everybody going to freak out? It takes 2 to 3 shots to light a Brood Commander on fire. Maybe before it was 1 to 2 shots, now 2 to 3. You basically don't notice it. So you can kind of just ignore this. They're probably just doing this so people on Reddit don't freak out when they notice a variable change when they're data mining and be like, oh my God, they hit a patch note. Like if they didn't put this here, you wouldn't have noticed it. It's such a small difference. In general, these slightly hard to set on fires are like so small, I don't think you would notice it. It's probably like a 1 to 2 bullet difference in general, and it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't. You will most likely be doing like enough shots to set them on fire regardless. So don't worry, guys. The Coyote is not nerfed. Dragon Roach got some changes. They spawn less often. We did do a Hive World, and it is taking quite a bit longer to see a new Dragon Roach show up, which is cool. I didn't really feel like it needed to be a thing. It was more just their fire is OP, and that didn't really change yet. I'm hoping that fire changes on the Dragon Roach. Right now, it just feels like a -1 stim every time they do their fire attack, or it feels like you absolutely kind of need the fire resistant armor. I'm still hoping that they do something about it and they just make it more like the Stingray. I love the Stingray. away from the Illuminate faction. Very deadly, but very much dodgeable. And the Dragon Roach doesn't feel like that at all. But I will say that they now made the wings a weak point. Excellent. I took the autocannon. I actually at one point had the Dragon Roach kind of like hovering across from me, and I got a perfect 10 shots on one of the wings and it killed it. Now that's probably like optimal. It's probably going to take you more than 10 shots of the flak of the autocannon to kill it, but very impressive if that's a very consistent thing you can do. But yeah, that's like optimal. I'm sure I got like the perfect angle and so on and so forth. 10 shots from the autocannon, that's great, but you know, it's probably going to be more than that on average, especially due to missing and just the random nature of flak in general. But yeah, pretty damn cool. It also takes more damage from explosions, so things like the Epoch will be very good against the Dragon Roach. Already was very good if you guys didn't know that. So any Epoch enjoyers from this patch, try it out on the Dragon Roach. Will be very good. All right, ball spears are harder to set on fire. Once again, not that big of a deal. And they also made them a little more durable. That's because they increased the durable amount on a lot of weapons by like 50%. So ball spears, very easy to kill still. Hive Lords, some performance changes. Base alarming for you stealth enjoyers on automatons. This is basically just those random flares as soon as you kill one enemy inside of a base. It won't happen as much. So that's a good change. Devastators, slightly harder to put on fire. Not that big of a deal, but honestly, they were ridiculously weak to fire before this. Command bunkers removed ragdoll from projectile explosion. So you can still get ragdolled from the bunker turrets, but it's from the explosion. So before it could hit like the wall or ground beside you and you get ragdolled. Now it has to direct impact you. So you're still getting ragdolled occasionally from both War Striders and bunker turrets, but it's happening less. We did a bunker turret mission, a lot less from the command bunkers. So that's good. We're moving in the right direction. Still lots of ragdoll, but moving in the right direction. Happy about it. War Striders also got less grenades per salvo. They shoot grenades less often. And I definitely noticed that. They used to go from like, you know, laser cannon, grenades, and then just swap back and forth immediately, back and forth. It now seems like they do like 2 or 3 laser cannon attacks, then grenades. So way less ragdoll. You're still going to get ragdoll from the grenades if you don't move, and you're still going to get ragdoll from the laser cannons, but they, once again, remove the ragdoll from the explosion. Great change. Definitely not exactly what I wanted. I wanted to remove the ragdoll in general, but hey, they met me halfway. That's better than nothing. They added a weak point to the eyes and the vents on the back. So I was shooting the primary eye that you see on like the bar, but there's also an eye on the top that I'm pretty sure is a weak point as well. But the one that worked reliably, I was 4-tapping it with the new AMR from the front, worked really well. And in the back, it was also 4-tapping it. Basically the butt of the War Strider now actually is a vent, just like, you know, a tank and stuff like that. So good changes. I'm not going to go through all of the individual changes, but lots of like little ones here and there about like, just like, you know, hey, the spear couldn't lock on to automaton anti-AA turrets. Cool. They fixed it. But lots of fixes and optimization. As far as my game running, I'm getting about 10% more performance on the lows and the highs. Some people are reporting much better like 1% lows. So like how stuttery and like the frame times and like smoothness of the game has improved. For me personally, on my rig, I didn't notice any of that. It seems the same amount as far as like frame times, but overall FPS has improved a little bit. So let me know in the comments, maybe on people that have like lower end rigs, especially. I want to know, how does it feel now? Is it feeling more than 10%? I'm very curious. Keep in mind that this is like the first patch that they want to do. They want to do more as far as fixes, optimization and stuff. So, you know, hopefully more in the future. Okay, some hidden stuff that we noticed. Bile Titans and Chargers are way louder with their footsteps. Like you can hear them way more clearly. Now you still will get situations where someone dropped a 500 kgs, someone dropped a 380, and you didn't really hear that charger coming from behind you. But I think that's reasonable. Hear me out. I think it would be a bit ridiculous if a 500 kg just went off and instead of hearing the explosion, you hear the charger running behind you. I understand for gameplay purposes, you know, you're like, oh my God, I want to hear the charger at all times if he's anywhere around me. But hear me out. For the cinematic experience of Helldivers, it's probably better it works this way because it'd be kind of silly if the 380 is going off and you just hear, you know, Charlie the Charger next to you stomping around. It would be a bit ridiculous. But in like average gameplay, when there isn't like tons of explosions going off, you definitely hear them moving around. You definitely hear Bile Titans walking around, following you. If you hear a charger right behind you, if he's chasing you, like it's much more noticeable. Much more noticeable. And it was a fantastic change. I'm really happy that they did it and they didn't go overboard, you know, because I do think that they could have have gone overboard and made them too loud to the point where it's actually like dominating the soundscape, but good change there. As far as people with the audio bug is still present on bot missions. Going into game now, we played quite a few bot missions and it is still planet dependent. So Fenmeyer, for instance, do not go. Fenmeyer gave me the audio bug, which for those who are not aware of it, it at first propagates as just like, hey, my audio cut out for a second. And then it gets a little worse. And then it gets a little worse. And then it gets a little worse. And then it gets to the point where it's actually like freezing your game for a couple seconds, right? It just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And if you don't restart your game on console or PC, eventually your game will just crash. And I believe in some instances will actually just cause your computer to freeze. Do not play on this planet. For instance, I went and played on Tarsh, played quite a few games, no problems. No audio bug whatsoever, playing against War Striders and everything along the side. But I'm also on Windows 10. Maybe if you're on Windows 11, it might be different. I hear lots of reports of people still having issues with this patch. This is very much the first patch and it still seems like it has issues. Shams, the CEO, did say that they are still working on the lockup of the game. So this is not of like, we're so back right now. This is more, we're going to be so back in maybe a patch or two. This is an excellent first step, in my opinion, but we are not quite there yet, right? They still need to do a little bit of balance tuning. They still need to do some performance fixes. They still need to do some bug fixes, but this definitely gives me a lot of hope for, you know, the next month of this game. I'm happy that things are improving, but I will not be like over the moon saying that this game is like fixed and you need to come back right now. If you've had a lot of crashing issues in the past, you may still be having them. Personally, I haven't had really any performance issues on my rig, and I'm still not having those performance issues or stuff outside of the audio bug. If I'm playing on Illuminator bugs, everything's fine and dandy. I got my 10% FPS boost. We're off to the races, and we will be covering the balance patches and stuff like that in the coming week. For those who are looking to see some of that live, please remember Maplewood_TV on Twitch or on YouTube. Consider dropping a like and a subscribe on the video if you enjoyed. Please let me know how it is running on your rig. How is it performing on Xbox? How is it performing on PlayStation? I want to know these things because I hear things from stream chat, but I want to hear stuff from you guys too. I want to get as many opinions as possible, and you know, maybe we can filter out what's happening in the game. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do expect some updates to our tier list, but I gotta say, I'm pretty damn happy with a lot of the changes that have happened here, and I can't wait to update them for you. Go try out the Epoch. Trust me, it went from good to great. Anyways, much love. Peace out, YouTube.